Like, come on, goddamn. As soon as I start hosting, this stuff gonna start acting janky. Goddamn. Anyway, y'all, what's good with y'all? Look, Nora and Gray are not hosting a new party today. I'm hosting a new party. This is Kamal. As y'all can see, it's a different thing and whatever. You feel me? And stuff gonna go a little differently. You feel me? All right. We gonna introduce ourselves first and then play the clips. I'll play a clip first and then but introduce yourself first, and then I got the clip for y'all, and then we gonna go into it. All right. So
it's Mia.
I'm Kim.
And I'm Enzo.
Hope y'all doing lovely. And look, we should feel special, y'all, because we got a new member immediately. Hold on, we gotta drop the air horn. Yeah. Shout out to
T. Christ.
T. Christ. Hey, 518, thank you for being a new member. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Also, I don't have the disclaimer thing, so anything we say ain't the new party fault and could be used against us in public opinion, but this ain't got nothing to do with the new party, okay? Now, all right.
You can sue me, it's okay.
Yeah, y'all. You can sue Enzo, you can sue me, you can sue Mia, you can sue
No, Kimberly. You cannot.
No, you can't.
No, you cannot.
All right.
They got good lawyers. You can come after me and Kamal.
Anyway, hold on a minute. We most definitely gonna play the intro first, though. You feel me? So, hold on.
What it is.
And y'all can hear this, right?
Or every
okay.
Any kind of change and having someone CIA, which is fucking for you to call me CIA when you know I'm not.
He probably is CIA though. Every time I hear that, I think in the back of my head he's fucking CIA because only a CIA person would be offended by that.
Oh, this is when we became the left versus the right, but both sides are trash in COVID.
His own thing. So it seems to be that money's the issue, that like we're using money and that's how politics is being pushed. Because now we've seen what someone does when they use their own money and it doesn't seem to be a solution. So I feel like we take money out of politics, we'll have a much better political system.
Politician, you think they gonna come out and tell me the truth? They was lying to my mama. They ain't gonna never tell us.
So everybody, we look at certain things just because, oh, this happens in the hood or we see this every day, all the way up. These people were speaking truth. King, we could talk X, we could talk it all. They were speaking truth.
What's going on in anyone's mind, but let's take it as a given that Gray's argument is true, that the argument to not have ID is that it would be discriminatory versus certain socioeconomic brackets or something. It's like,
the world's greatest trial run of what people will do or what people won't do. And we are the only country on the planet that really fought against the government. A lot of it, this.
Because you focus on 80-20 issues. I'm looking at the Epstein issue as we have 80% of the information we need to prosecute these people that actually did anything, but you're focusing on the 20% trying to take down Donald Trump, which you're never going to get. So I'm going to keep sitting here with a smug ass face on every single day.
I'll explain. Good question. I'll give you the answer. The Republican Party constantly talks about transgenders and transgender surgery to minors.
I'm mostly on the left ideologically, but I don't associate with the Democrats because they're not ideologically on the left. The Democrats are clowns and they're also losers.
About to be any engaging conversation It's not about to be any discourse about different political ideologies, what works and what doesn't. If that is the outcome, right? For example, I'm not gonna go and just put myself in the middle of a KKK rally.
You're finding a fucking Fed. They always do this. I'll say this, right? They did the same thing to Nick. We've seen the video. They'll call people who are genuine and authentic fans because
the interesting thing to me is that the ones that claim that they believe the Constitution and are trampling the Constitution, the ones that said they believed in the First Amendment, the freedom of speech, right, are now going against the freedom of speech.
Perspective.
They'll have no plan. They'll never talk about nothing positive about the Democrat Party. Everything is anti-Trump. They're not willing to have a conversation. They call us fascists. We willing to have a conversation. Charlie Kirk's willing to have a conversation.
Boom. Disclaimer. Hey, new party ain't got nothing to do with what we say. So don't get mad at the new party. Y'all can sue me and Enzo. All right. But let's play this clip right here first, y'all. And y'all can hear and see this, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Cap on credit card interest rates as a part of an affordability push. How much support is in your caucus for that?
I talked with him about it briefly yesterday, and he is the president is the ideas guy, and what he's doggedly determined to do and laser focused upon doing is the same thing that we are, and that is reducing the cost of living, bringing down prices for the American people, and he's looking at every idea under the sun to do that. It's one of a large menu of ideas that have been proposed as something we ought to think about and investigate. Since I had the conversation with him, I've talked to a number of colleagues about that and what that would mean, and are there unintended consequences of that? And it's a complicated area. So I don't know. Like everything else, you would need legislation to do something like that, and we have a lot of consensus around it. But you got to be very careful if you go forward in that. In our zeal to bring down costs, you don't want to have negative secondary effects of that. So, for example, one of the things that the president probably had not thought through, and others at first glance, it sounds great. We should bring down, interest rates to 10%. It would help everybody, all borrowers. There's a lot of Americans who have a lot of credit card debt. But then, what some of the experts have said as well. But the problem is, if you do that, then the credit card companies, the negative secondary effect is that they would just stop lending money, and maybe they cap what people are able to borrow at a very low amount, and then that would have a negative effect on a lot of people who work on revolving credit. So it's something that we got to be very deliberate about. The president understands that. He wants us to do the right thing by Americans. When he says America first, it comes from a sincere place in his heart and all of us. And what I love about this president is he's willing to think outside the box and propose ideas for us to work through to see if it will actually achieve the desired objective. And that's what we're in the process of doing every day around here. So again, I wouldn't get too spun up about, ideas that are out of the box that are proposed or suggested. The thing about this president is he's totally transparent, and he says often what he's thinking out loud. This is unusual because most presidents like Biden, we couldn't get anything out of him for 4 years. We didn't know what he was thinking, if he was thinking at all. So it's jarring for some Americans to hear a president who just says, go, 24 hours a day to help the American people. And we're working through those ideas. And that's one we'll work through. Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, y'all. Y'all heard what Mike Johnson said. So, we're going to let the ladies go first. Mio, what's your thoughts about lowering interest rates and President Trump trying to do this?
There's no real plan. And the agency that does control interest rates, there's no real plan. So right now, it's just chirpity chirp, 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 chirp. There was a congressional bill that did address this. However, it stalled because neither side wanted to vote for it. So at this point in time, like Donald Trump, his interest in this could hopefully revive that so we can have like an honest bipartisan bill go forward to help Americans. But I mean, it was only temporary for 1 year. And for the most part, Americans are already maxed out on their credit cards, and their credit card debt has already topped $1 trillion. So really, it's not going to help anybody at this point in time. Even if he writes an executive order, there's no way to enforce it. There's no agency that's going to do it. And I mean, basically for 1 year, credit card companies just aren't going to loan anything, which they can. They can choose to not loan. They're not legally obligated to loan for people. So, I mean, it's kind of pointless unless it's a congressional bill and there's a framework to it and multiple agencies are inside of it.
Okay. Kimberly, your thoughts?
Where's my friend skeptic at? I'm not skeptical. I'm cynical. I think if the Trump administration wanted to address inequality, they should have done that to begin with, instead of like starting with this last year they went really hard with these culture wars rather than like actual substantive, like real change, like what they're espousing to do now. And they're also having a messaging problem because there's so much other bigger news going on in the world with all the freaking problems and fights that they're starting all over the fucking world. So a lot of the people, like I know some of my friends, I was talking to them about the interest rates. They didn't even know that had happened because there's all this other culture war shit and actual wars all over the world that's going on, and it's distracting from the messaging. So I don't know if it's going to actually be productive with what they're trying to do with. I think they're just doing it for the 2026 elections. It's the same criticism I had of the Biden administration, because they actually had Lena Khan, who was doing something really good with like with regards to like antitrust at the FTC, but their messaging wasn't going through to the people. We're seeing that now with the Trump administration, which, I mean, the housing, the interest rates, all of this, I'm all for it. Please do it. Please. Like, I would love to be wrong. Please. Like, go ahead.
All right, Enzo, what you thinking about this, bro?
So my honest thoughts on it, I've looked into it a little bit. People have been asking me questions about how they would go about this. My entire thing is I would hope that there would be some bipartisanship that this would come forward, because like Mia said, even if they do an executive order, it's not really going to do anything. It's not going to be enforced, and it will get caught up in the court system too. You'll have all these credit card companies blocking this executive order, and it's never going to go anywhere. To address the affordability in the United States, this would definitely help out, but it needs to be longer for than just a year, because what's going to happen after a year? Somebody who's paying a 10% credit card APY for exactly a year, then it shoots back up to what, 20, 30%. I mean, it's going to put them back in the same hole. They need to actually put forward a real plan and explore all avenues, regardless if it's reviving a dead bill that they had before or coming up with something completely different. This is going to be bipartisan co-authorship on this. This is not just going to be a partisan thing to do, and it would be beneficial for both parties to actually get on board with that. So I'm hoping we actually see some movement, some type of framework to actually get something done like this, or if there's not going to, just cut it right here and just let it be.
Yeah, I think that it's really, at least if it's helped with anything, the fact that Trump is doing this, it does shift the Overton window with regards to the conversation. So when another Democrat does try to come, if they stand on it, if they try to push something with interest rates or anything with affordability, which Trump previously said was like a communist hit job, then it would be on the MAGA voters and supporters to go against what Trump is espousing to do now. So at least it's like helping with the conversation, even if it has no other benefit outside of that. So I have very little hopes in the Senate or in any bipartisanship, sadly. But again, I would love to be wrong with that.
Okay. We got another clip from CBS. I think they talking about the stock market. And they're not talking about today, because the stock market got his ass whooped today. But hold on. Let me share this with y'all real quick.
With that, CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger to talk all Money Watch news. So let's start with bank stocks taking a hit yesterday after some earnings reports were released. So explain what those reports actually showed.
Nothing.
Okay.
To the average investor,
Goodbye, Jill.
this is literally noise, and you need to tune out the noise. So, Now, listen, some of the banks had to report earnings, which accounted for some unique circumstances at those banks. This morning, we had Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley, and they were very robust. And these stocks have been on a tear. They don't tell you anything about the U.S. economy, except they do tell you something about the political environment. And that is that banks are doing extraordinarily well under the Trump administration. There's lower regulation and stocks have gone up. There's a lot of trading, there's a lot of activity, and there's more mergers and there's more acquisitions. So there's more business. But if you look at your own 401k, I beg you not to look at these earnings. It is useless. It is a waste of your time. You focus on your own financial goals, how you're going to get where you want to go. What is the best way to get there?
So, Joe, staying on the subject of banks, something we talked about last week, the president is proposing a credit card interest rate cap to about 10%. And on the one hand, if you are a consumer, this sounds like a good idea because credit card interest rates are over 20% right now, or 19.65. And if you hear that the interest rates will only be 10%, that sounds good. The question that I have is, let's take a look from the bank's perspective. And I know people will be watching and they'll say, well, who cares about the banks? There's the billionaires that who run them. But if the banks see a cap like this, what do they decide to do in terms of how much credit they offer people? And what do they decide to do in terms of the revenue that they generate from all those interest rates?
So the lobbying for the banks and the credit unions came out very hard against this proposed cap. And they have come out hard against caps in the past. There have been some bipartisan efforts to get some caps going on credit cards. And the reason is their premise is, hey, if we are asked to lend money, which is extend credit to someone who is a low earner or has a shaky credit score, we need to get compensated for that risk. What if they don't pay us back? Makes sense, possibly, sure. At the end of the day, I think there's also a problem that when you put these caps in place, they're usually short term. Maybe it's a year. I mean, it is helpful. You'll take it for a year. I get it. But it's not the answer for most people. So I think from the bank's perspective, I think they were a little heavy handed. I think they probably should just keep their mouths shut and do their lobbying as they would normally do and not put these statements out because it makes them look kind of horrible. Like, oh, if you put it at 10%, we won't give credit to those people. And we won't make as much money. Like, who cares what they think?
But the ripple effect could affect, for example, if a bank says, okay, we've got to cap these interest rates at 10%.
All right, y'all, we kind of get the gist of what the hell they talking about. All right,
basically.
Kimberly, you go first. What's your thoughts about putting the 10% cap on credit cards, what Trump is trying to do?
I would love a cap on credit cards and mortgages. I would love to go hard against the banks, but the banks are also lobbying hard for it not to actually happen. So I would love to see this. I mean, I'm pretty sure most of us would love to see it. I will say I found this report from the first quarter of 2020, the third quarter 2025 showed on record since the 1940s, since they started recording it, the piece of the pie, the economic pie that belongs to the working class is still shrinking. It's reached a new low. I think it's 43.3%. So even though we are seeing gains, they're not going to the working class, especially not with tax cuts, especially not with handouts. And we also need to address corporate subsidies. So, I mean, like I said, especially when it comes to like economic issues, I'm cynical because whoa, what happened?
No one stands up.
Enzo, what's your thoughts on this?
So, like I said before, I would love to see this happen. But obviously the banks are the ones who hold the cards in this. They're obviously lobbying against this because that's where they make their money. That's why we need some solid piece of legislation that the banks will not be able to take this to court to actually get it their way. It's going to be an uphill battle. That's why I said I'm not really the person that will say that there needs to be bipartisanship in a lot of things because the way that the Democrats are acting. But for something like this to happen, there's going to be major bipartisanship. They're going to have to all pitch in to get this done. It's going to have to be an overwhelming majority to get this done, just by putting forward the making sure there's no loopholes for the banks to jump through, because for damn sure they're going to have their legal teams looking at every little stitch into this bill. So it's going to be tough.
Facts. Mia, will this help our broke asses out? Because, I mean, shit.
I mean, in a perfect world, usury should be illegal. We should not be able to loan shark people like the mob, where it's like, oh, you want to borrow $1,000? Well, there's a 50% interest rate, and if you don't pay me back, I'm going to break your kneecaps. And they do that. And you know what I mean? Basically, they don't physically hurt you, but at this point in time, they'll take a car, they'll take everything. The repo man's coming. They do that. It should be illegal. But at this point in time, it's not going to be illegal. And we have no hope in the immediate future because the people in control are the boomers. And the boomers own 50% of all of the asset wealth in the United States. One generation of Americans owns $85 trillion worth of assets. Just one. They make up 20% of our population, but they own half of all household incomes, all real estate incomes, all GDP is from them. Okay. One group of people own basically half the pie. And these people are CEOs. They head everything. They're in our White House. They're in our Congress. They're our Senate. They're our governors. Like, these are the people that are controlling everything, and they are not going to give up anything until they die. So at this point in time, we have another 30 years before we can really do anything financially for this country, because these people are not giving it up.
All I heard was Mia says, get rid of the boomers. All right, we got it.
They're the problem. They're the problem. And in the United States, you can trace, they are the problem. This one generation is the reason why we are in every single problem we have had. We can trace back to this one generation that got a fantastic, perfect economy, that got to live through the 1950s and early 60s and kumbaya, to turn around and poison the water, poison the food, poison the air, get into needless wars, take us off the gold standard, put us on the petrodollar, destabilize everything.
Love that.
CIA, NSA, FBI, all invented during their tenure. I mean,
we should deport the boomers.
We have a former president that was the leader of the NSA. I mean, it is so, these people, everything that's wrong in the United States comes from this one generation, period.
Did y'all actually know that Donald Trump is suing some of the banks?
For what?
Didn't know that.
Oh, I think he got debanked from Chase, right? Something like that.
Yep. He's suing Chase. He sued Capital One. He got in some funk with Bank of America. So I don't know. I'm gonna put my tinfoil kufi on, and maybe he's trying to do this to get at the banks in a certain way. I don't know. He may have a lot of funk with the banks. They've been debanking them, not letting them get his funds. So, he getting into the quarrel with the banks and shit. So, hey, it help us out. I don't care. 10% on credit cards. I'm with that. But the next topic we're gonna go to, this shit might get some people blood boiling. You feel me? It done had some of the lives jumping. We gotta talk about Somalia Gate. The protesters out there.
Somalia Gate's crazy.
Getting stolen. ICE is icing it up. There's all types of shit happening, okay? But I bet y'all never would have thought this would have happened first, y'all. We got Bruce Springsteen, I guess. I guess he does music or something, but I guess he has something to say. Here it go, y'all. All right.
You believe in the power of the law and that no one stands above it. If you stand against heavily armed, masked federal troops invading an American city and using Gestapo tactics against our fellow citizens, if you believe you don't deserve to be murdered for exercising your American right to protest,
I feel like I'm gonna have a fucking stroke.
send a message to this president. And as the mayor of that city has said, ICE should get the fuck out of Minneapolis. And this song is for you in the memory of the mother of three and American citizen Renee Good. Thank you.
Alrighty then. We're gonna start out with Enzo, man. What's your start, Bruce? Actually, first of all, let me ask y'all this: do y'all know who he is?
I do.
Yeah.
New
My
Jersey
homie
native.
he had a podcast with my homie Barack Obama.
For real?
Mm-hmm, he did. He's like,
Sorry,
he's
Enzo.
like-
I know I said I wanted you to go first. We're gonna let Kimberly go first.
No, that's it. That's what I'm gonna say. He's like super liberal, Democrat, vote blue no matter who.
Yeah.
He had a podcast with Obama. Go ahead, Enzo.
So Bruce Springsteen, my mother used to be obsessed with Bruce Springsteen growing up. He grew up in New Jersey, right around the corner from my mom, actually. So I know him very well. Sure, you have your freedom of speech to say whatever you want. This is my whole thing. Entertainers, artists, bands, and I talked about this with Sarah plenty of times because she goes to plenty of concerts and she hears this all the time from a bunch of bands that she sees. They all want to make a political stance. Everybody wants to be political nowadays in music, in entertainment, and everything like that. But then again, these are the same people that never walked a day in the normal person's fucking shoes. Like, take your fucking political beliefs and stick them to the fucking side. Nobody wants to fucking hear it when you're not even a normal person in society. It annoys the living shit out of me hearing this about Bruce Springsteen talk about fucking illegal immigrants when he's never had to deal with anything like this. He's not a normal person. Like, dude, just go fucking play your music for your boomer fucking friends and call it a day. Just sunset, please. Like, it annoys the living shit out of me because it's not even him. Like, I've been seeing clips of fucking Green Day lately of fuck ICE, vote for the Democrats.
They've been like that though.
When the fuck did punk rock?
Always. Punk has always
started
been
like that.
anti-authoritarian.
No, but I'm saying it was anti-government when I was growing up. Rage Against the Machine was anti-government altogether. Now it's a vote for the Democrats, or vote for this person, vote for that person. When the fuck did this all become intertwined to just go against Orange Man bad? That's my whole thing with this. Like, cool, make your political stance against the government. Cool, that's fine. But when you start advocating for fucking groups, it's getting annoying. Like, again, you guys are not normal people. You never had to deal with this. Anything that they're fucking advocating for. You guys never had to deal with that adversity. So just calm it down. Stick to music.
Damn. Stick to music. Shut up and dribble, motherfuckers.
You put me in a particular situation where you have to like bend my arm backwards to defend Bruce Springsteen here, but there's nothing wrong with what he said there. He's just saying stand, you have the right to free speech and you shouldn't die over it, and maybe not kill people.
You shouldn't hit a cop with a car.
You shouldn't have to die for trying to drive away from a cop.
You should have complied with the order to get out of the car.
I've not complied with police. That doesn't mean I should have died.
I know you never hit a cop with a car though when they told you to get out of a car.
Okay, we have like watch the same video. We have like a different interpretation of it, but at the end of the day, she shouldn't have been shot in the head 3 times or at all. Maybe the tire. She was driving away. Maybe arrest her, prosecute her. But yeah, I don't necessarily disagree with what Bruce Springsteen was saying there. What's his MO? What's he getting at? It's 2026. It's an election year. And I completely agree with the first half of the Enzo's rant, where a lot of the times these celebrities don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They don't actually follow politics. They're just like super bipartisan. And Bruce Springsteen is super vote blue no matter who, liberal. And the problem with the Democratic Party is that they are vote blue no matter who. They should be afraid to lose somebody's vote. That's why they don't actually do anything substantive, because they're just assuming that you're going to vote for them. Like Biden said, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. All that BS. That's literally what's wrong with the Democratic Party. But yeah, I don't disagree with what he particularly said right there.
Mia, do you agree with what Berber said? Or are you staying with Kimberly?
He's being paid to say that. So I don't think he's genuine. I don't think he really cares.
Probably.
He's very famous. He's a very famous man with very famous friends. I mean, he texts Obama, for Christ's sake. He's being paid, and I'm not going to listen to a thing that he says because it's not genuine. I don't even think he believes half of what he says, because at the end of the day, he's going to finish that show. He's going to get into a chauffeured vehicle. He's going to go to a penthouse suite in a nice hotel, or he's going to go home to his McMansion that is in a gated community protected by a security guard in a really nice part of the town that everybody pays their taxes, and his kids went to private school because he could afford it. So everything he says is completely disingenuous. I don't think he's even being serious. These people all are paid. They all are part of the paid agenda. Nothing we see is real. It's all organized for us to feel a certain way.
Okay. Mia, you did say a future Drake line. That was a fire bar. I don't even think you noticed it. A very famous man with very famous friends. You will hear that Drake line in a song coming to you near you soon. All right. We have another clip, by the way, of Nick Shirley. He out there and he got confronted. All right. So let's take a look at this, y'all.
With race, this is fraud. It's fraud.
Absolutely. Hold on. What the hell going on? Hold on a minute, y'all.
This has nothing to do with race. This is fraud. It's fraud.
This absolutely has to do with us being Muslim.
No, it does not.
All right, and us being from Africa. This is a constitutional argument. If you don't want us here, change the freedom of religion. Say, listen, we don't want Muslims in this country anymore.
We're not saying that.
No.
We're not saying that.
When I go
Sir,
onto
we're
your
talking
comments,
about fraud.
when I go onto your comments,
my comments.
What I see is people that say we do not want Muslims here. Kick every single Muslim in Minnesota out of Minnesota.
That's a comment.
You're preparing for the Somali community to maybe be taken to concentration camps, just like the Japanese community. All right. You're sensationalizing.
No, we're not.
All right,
Sir,
something that
answer
can
the
listen.
question. Where
That's something
where
that
is the transportation
something
vehicle
that can
company?
jeopardize
Answer the question.
The safety and the protection of the
This is
Somali
fraud.
community.
We're talking
If
about
anything
fraud. Sir.
happens
Hold
to
on,
the
y'all.
Somali
I'm sorry.
community,
I do have to pause this. What the hell is this? Afric grocery? Come on now. I don't know if this is bad or the Leering Center shit.
They get educated at the Leering Center. Come on. Obviously, that's going to be the name of a place that they buy groceries, allegedly.
What the hell?
I'm not doing anything. I'm not physically touching
You're
her.
getting very close.
I'm not physically touching her. No, I'm not physically touching her.
This is fraud.
What
We're talking
you're
about
doing-
fraud.
what you're doing-
You're
what you're
defending
doing-
fraud.
when I
You're
go
defending
into your
fraud.
comments,
You're defending fraud.
People who hate Muslims
Okay,
want
people
us
can-
out of here
people can say
for
what they
being
want. I'm
Muslim.
not censoring anybody.
Us using your material. Islamophobes use your material. People who hate Islam use your material. Say to us, we don't want you here. Change the constitution. But guess what? Let me tell you something. Guess what?
Say it. We're asking about
You know,
fraud.
what
We're
you
asking
do,
about fraud.
You hate Muslims.
I'm not saying I hate
You
Muslims.
hate you
We're
know
talking
you
about
hate
fraud.
Muslims.
We're talking
Why
about
are you
fraud.
attacking us?
This
Are we
is
the
fraud.
only community that suffers because of fraud?
We're talking about
Are we
fraud.
the only community that does fraud? Are we the only community that does this?
This is about fraud.
All right, but there's what, 300 Somali
This is
providers in
fraud.
all of Minnesota?
There's actually 800.
Is there, do you speak English? The security doesn't even speak English. Listen, let me tell you something.
See, this isn't a race issue,
Listen,
sir.
let me
This
tell
is
you
about fraud.
We have what?
Oh my God. Everything but hold your own account. Like,
You sacrificed the safety of
Sir,
80,000 people
we're not
because of fucking 2,000 providers.
That's enough.
Are you fucking mad? Are you stupid?
Go crash out.
You're stupid. Where's the transportation company?
What about a mass shooting happens in Minnesota? It will be because of you. It will be because of you. If any Somali gets hurt in Minnesota, it's because of Nick fucking Shirley.
This
Any
is
Somali,
about
if
fraud.
one single Somali gets hurt.
This is about fraud,
it's because
sir.
of you sensationalizing, you son of a bitch. Sensationalizing.
Wow, you're
Get
very
the fuck
nice.
out of our neighborhood.
Very nice.
Get the fuck out of our
Sir,
neighborhood.
can you tell me where the
Get the
transportation
fuck
company
out of
is?
our neighborhood. We don't want you here. Get the fuck out of here.
Calm down, sir.
Get the fuck out of here.
Sir, this is
You
about
want to
fraud.
sensationalize? You wanted clicks?
You're
You got clicks.
sensationalizing yourself,
You
sir.
wanted clicks?
You're
You
sensationalizing
got
yourself.
clicks. You wanted clicks? You wanted the YouTube?
Tell me where the
You
transportation
wanted
vehicle
YouTube
is.
clicks? You got YouTube clicks. Now get the fuck out of our community.
Tell me where the
Get the
transportation
fuck
vehicle
out
why
of our
doesn't he just go back to Africa? He seems very unhappy here in the
This
States.
is about
I
fraud.
think he should go back to Africa.
Say it. I want to change the Constitution.
No, I don't want to change the
freedom of
Constitution.
religion, and I don't want Muslim Somalis in Minnesota to kick them out.
Good.
I was born in the
I think
South.
they
You have to take the
I'm glad we agree.
That is what you are.
Sir,
arguing for.
we're not talking.
Change the Constitution.
This is about fraud.
So
appreciate it.
Get the fuck out of my community.
This is about fraud.
Get the fuck out of my community. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Stupid fucking idiot.
Tell me what a transportation company is then.
Get the fuck out of here.
Obviously, for this video, we had to get security because look at this now. All right, we're going. We're going. But there is no transportation company in there. Fraud. There were no transportation companies.
No, none.
Damn. Woo, shit got heated, y'all. All right. Mia, I'm gonna let you go first. How'd you feel about that clip? And are people going after Muslims?
Honestly, no. A spade's a spade. I'm sorry, but if you're gonna commit a crime, you should be able to handle people bringing it up like it is what it is. I'm sorry. He's right. Do other people commit crime? Absolutely. Everybody commits crime. Everybody commits fraud. However, I'm gonna be honest. I will tolerate fraud from an American before I tolerate fraud from an inbred scumbag. Okay, we're gonna keep it a buck here. We're gonna keep it a buck here. If Kim wanted to commit fraud, I'd be like, girl, wink, wink, I got you, because she's an American. But you're not gonna come here under false pretenses because your country allegedly is so crappy and blah 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 blah. And then you're going to steal our money. You're going to send it back. It's going to fund Al-Shabaab and God knows what other places it's funding. And then you're going to act hurt when we're like, this is weird. Why are you doing this to us? We were super nice. We gave you everything and you're going to spit in our face. Dude, fuck him. I hope him and his family get deported. All of them. They can send them all home. They all have the nastiest attitudes. I never met a Somali I liked. And I've met a lot of African people. I never met a Somalian I liked. They're scumbags. They could all go home. I'm sorry. There's levels. There's levels to Africans, okay? Ethiopians are elite. Kenyans are elite. Nigerians, I fucking love Nigerians. They have the best sayings. Top-notch, elite motherfuckers. Somalians, bottom of the barrel. Bottom of the fucking barrel, send them home. They provide nothing to this country. What the fuck have they done here? Nothing besides steal our money and take it away. Fuck them, send them all home.
Well, we about to get demonetized. Levels of Africans. God damn. Kim, I saw you shaking.
I would never say that.
I hope not.
I don't think I can.
Anyway, Kim, what was your thoughts on the clip? And your stance on, are they targeting Muslims?
I think it does have a lot to do with Muslim hate. And you could see in that, so that guy, I assume Somalian guy there, was very passionate. He got a little overboard. I wouldn't have drawn attention to myself. There's a way to discuss something where you can really provoke thought, right? It's not going to help your cause if you push further and further away. Not maybe to change the mind of that guy, Nick Shirley, but maybe somebody who watches his video, right? So a lot of immigrant communities do commit fraud. I'm from Jalisco. You guys want to go over Venezuela? There's a lot of drugs coming in from Jalisco. I'll tell you that. My Italian friends, they were big mobsters when they came at the turn of the last century.
Hey, pause.
Everybody, a lot of, I no reason whatsoever why I pointed out my Italian friends, but a lot of immigrant communities do, when they come up, commit fraud. It's nothing new. And I think there is a lot of hateful rhetoric being spread around because it's not an indictment of all Somalians. It's not an indictment of a culture or a people. Also, Somalia is a war-torn country because of the United States, because we do the bidding of Israel, because of our disastrous foreign policy. A lot of the Somalians that are here are refugees of war. So we need to take that into consideration as well. Are they maybe the I don't know how to approach this without seeming hateful, but when you get a lot of refugees who are from war-torn countries, you are going to get, people who are maybe not their best, but it is a form of reparation for the harm that we've caused in that country. So
why do they get it? Black people ain't get paid.
Oh no, I condemn Trump.
Like, damn, black people ain't been paid yet.
No,
But
no,
the
I condemn.
Somalis, now I'm even more angry because
I
they're getting
condemn the fraud, and
reparations.
if there are not just Somalians, but any immigrant or any person who's committing fraud, that should be held accountable. And if you're here on a visa, you should probably be deported for that fraud. But like I said, it's not an indictment of all Somalians. And I sent you guys an article last time. My homie Trump pardoned a guy who was literally convicted of $150 million in healthcare fraud in Florida last year. We need to be consistent here. So why'd we pardon that guy? That was one guy, and that was like $150 million of healthcare fraud. So, yeah.
Damn. All right.
It's because he was from Florida. I feel like it's because he was from Florida. I feel like Trump just loves people from Florida.
I'm
I
sure
don't
he
know
got
what it
something
is.
out of it. It's his friend.
Mhm.
That's not whataboutism. It's calling out people's hypocrisy, Mr. Glorious Content.
All right. Before we play the final clip, and before I get your thoughts, Enzo, on everything, I gotta play this clip first. It is a little zesty. I hope y'all prepared.
Is it Don Lemon?
Oh Lord Jesus, how'd you know?
Well,
God,
you said zesty, so zesty Don Lemon.
I love funny stuff.
And he ignored a black woman. Let's see who he ignored, y'all. All right, let's just.
I want to interview. Thank you so much. He thinks he don't like black girls. He don't like black girls. Can we feed you? John, can we feed you? John, can we feed you?
Excuse me, ma'am. I'm trying to talk to her,
No,
okay?
can we go with an
No,
interview with you?
no, I don't want to do an interview
Why?
with
But
you.
I'm a white supremacist. I'm a white supremacist, Donnie.
Why he look white as hell though?
I'm sorry, I can't listen to that bro for more than 30 seconds. Anyway, y'all get the gist. That was that was crackhead Barbie. That's her name. She's a
Really?
Yeah, that was her.
That's crazy.
I'm
Y'all-
gonna go
hold
follow
on.
her. That's crazy.
Crackhead
The name
Barbie's
like
a
that, I
crazy
gotta
name.
find it. I gotta.
Oh, y'all
follow
don't know.
her.
Wait a minute. Y'all don't know who crackhead Barbie is?
No.
No.
Kimberly, you're on mute right now.
I was gonna say, yeah. Why? I want to see clips. Why is she saying she's a white supremacist?
She's a troll. She's like a known
Oh,
troll.
I
who do
love
shit like that.
trolls.
You feel me? She done went around when she was at the Diddy trial. She was like damn near naked, rubbing baby oil on herself.
No.
She's been known to- yeah, I'm telling you.
Yo, Nora, if you watching, did we see her?
Did y'all see her? Did y'all see
Bro,
her?
I'm gonna be real. Listen, I'm gonna be real. When I was at the Diddy trial, bro, I was on like 0 hours of sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So I fell asleep inside the courthouse. I'm not gonna lie, with my eyes open. That's how tired I was. So I'm gonna be honest. Nora was like, "Oh my god, there was this person." I go, "Really? There was that person? I don't remember." She was telling me about it. Watch a bit. I'm like, "Oh, I remember now."
Damn,
Dude, I was so tired at it, but I was like, "I'm not missing this."
man, y'all is out there though, for real, man.
That was dope.
That was dope as hell. You feel me, Nora? Hey, let us know, Nora. What did y'all see? Crackhead Barbie. That was crackhead Barbie, y'all, and basically Don Lemon was ignoring her. Somebody tweeted, "Oh, he ignored a black woman." No, ignore that broad. I'm sorry. She is. I'm telling you, just like disgusting. All right. She done did some other things too that I ain't gonna get into, but I'm gonna let Enzo go. How'd you feel about that clip? And then the main thing is that they're protesting in the church and all that good jazz. And also, how'd you feel about the previous clip that I played?
So with the previous clip, my thing is this: if you're not guilty of something, you're not gonna act erratic like that. You're not gonna go after somebody like that. You're just gonna be like, just don't talk to me. Dude's obviously guilty of something, and he's acting out and acting a fool for whatever reason. And I hate to say it, race baiting and throwing the religion in there. Just because Nick Shirley's comment section of his video, there's a lot of hateful people in his comment section, doesn't reflect the content creator. If his voice, if his Content doesn't create that. I wouldn't go after him. I don't look at Nick Shirley as how everybody wants to paint him nowadays, a MAGA reporter. No, he's just an independent journalist covering a story. Give the guy some grace. Don't be going after him, stealing his stuff, trying to do what they did to fucking trying to attack him for whatever reason. I think it's ridiculous. He's just somebody that's covering a story, uncovering fraud, and obviously, sorry to say it, Somalian community in Minnesota is guilty of all this shit. I said it on my live before, and somebody called me racist for it. I was like, I don't think it's racist that we should investigate an entire community where a good portion of the community's committing fraud in that area. I don't think that's a problem. Like, regardless, whatever it is, if it's a small community within a state or whatever, yes, that whole community should be investigated. If there's obviously people that are not involved, they're not involved. Pick up the ones that are involved. They're here on, temporary protective status. They're here on visas. They're here on these reasons. Sorry, like, you guys are gonna get looked at. That goes for anybody that's on these programs in here. You're coming to America to better your life, not take advantage of the system. Just because you're in a protected class doesn't mean anything at all. You're committing fraud. You're going to commit fraud. You're going to get caught for it. You're going to go to jail. You're going to get arrested for it. You're going to go to jail for it. To zesty as Don Lemon, the only thing I really got to say with him is why he looked like he got the Sammy Sosa disease and like he's becoming like really white. That did not look like Don Lemon to me for a second. I'm going to be real.
Ain't that Rivilla or some shit like that?
Something like that, yeah. That's what he looked like to me. I was like, that's Don Lemon. That looked like a white man.
Don Lemon is aging very terribly.
Yeah. The demons are catching up to him. Like, I mean, he's gonna get racked up with the Klan Act as well as the what's the other one? The Face Act for doing what he did in the church.
Oh, I'm glad that you brought that point up because I actually want to hear all y'all thoughts on what Don Lemon did. And with the other, I guess they were activists or whatever, going to that church, doing what they did. I want to hear from Kimberly first. So, Kimberly, what did you think about that?
Can you show me a clip? Because I've been off of social media. I'm sure everybody here noticed because you all miss me so much.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to find the clip. Let's let Mia go first then.
Okay, go ahead.
Find the clip. And then
All right, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
So, I said this yesterday, and I'm gonna stand 10 toes down. He should be prosecuted. All of them should be prosecuted. You cannot interfere.
Don Lemon?
Yes. You can't interfere with the worship, intimidation, or anything. So the FACE Act covers abortion clinics and it covers houses of worship. Non-exclusive. You don't have to be Christian. It could be synagogues, temples. It doesn't matter. It covers both. So you cannot interfere, intimidate, or anything like that. Somebody going into a clinic and somebody in a house of worship. That includes inside, outside, doesn't matter. You cannot. And the Biden administration actually used the FACE Act a couple of years ago on a woman who was praying outside of an abortion clinic. So it stands to so the FACE Act is utilized quite often for various reasons. So I think Don Lemon absolutely should be prosecuted. I think they all should be prosecuted. I think it's distasteful to go into the middle of a church. I think either in the beginning, like, be there, like, yelling at them like they were.
You went into a church and yelled at people?
Yes, they physically went into the church. These people are in the middle of a sermon of sorts, of, their meeting or whatever. And then a bunch of random people. And mind you, how many church shootings have we had in the last 10 years? A lot of people have come in and murdered tons of people in churches all over the country. So imagine how scary that must have been to have a group of random freaking people come in screaming, belligerent. You don't know if they're armed. You don't know anything. You don't even know what they're saying. And they're just there demonstrating, protesting, causing chaos. So all of them should be arrested and they should all go to federal prison for the FACE Act because that's wild. That's wild.
He went in there during an act of service at a Christian church to intentionally disrupt and protest because they were pro-ICE?
No, they claimed that the pastor was working with ICE agents.
Oh, okay.
So I got the clip right here, y'all. Hopefully it's the right clip. I didn't get to look through it, but I think this is the clip right here, y'all. Hold on.
See what's happening. Okay. And I'm just gonna.
There you go. So that was the clip. Now, since you seen the clip now, Kimberly, what's your thoughts on all of this?
So if I'm understanding correctly, Don Lemon went into a church to instigate and cause a ruckus during the church service, and the FACE Act would protect people from doing that because you can't interrupt church services, just like the lady that was arrested for praying outside of an abortion clinic, which is weird.
Yes,
Maybe if
can't-
she was like inside the abortion clinic instigating, but outside the abortion
So you
clinic.
can't intimidate. So let's say that there's somebody looking to have an abortion. Maybe they're Christian, maybe they're not, and then someone praying potentially loudly, potentially ignorantly could be a form of intimidation. You know what I mean? You can't intimidate. And another big word that it says is you can't interfere. I would say having a group of people screaming in there intimidates and interferes in the service because the pastor had to stop his service because it was being interrupted and they were interfering in it. So for me, when it comes to the legal verbiage, that is why we have the FACE Act. So places of worship and obviously abortion clinics as well can be business as usual without crazy people going in there. People have a right to worship and people also have a right to go to the clinic.
Right. Don Lemon really, really, really wants attention. He was probably just trying to get some clicks, trying to get some attention, and that's probably what he got. But in doing so, he committed a crime. So sure, I think it's disrespectful if you're interrupting a service. Like if I was at church and my church sometimes says some homophobic shit that I don't agree with. But if somebody came in and tried like interrupting my service over even something I agree with, I wouldn't be okay with that. I mean, there's a certain way to go about it, you know? So, sure. I would love to hold Don Lemon accountable. I don't like him. I think he's weird. And I didn't think he was going to try to, like him and Andrew Cuomo, I didn't think they were still going to try to be freaking reporters after they got fired. I thought they were done. Fun fact, I actually saw, I'm sorry, which Cuomo brother was the one that was the news reporter? Is it Andrew?
No, I think that's the other one. I think Andrew was the
Chris,
governor.
right?
Chris is the reporter, Andrew's the rapist.
Okay, yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Chris, I met him. I met him because I went to the new news nation place that where he works at, and I wanted to take a picture with him just for shits and giggles, but he was like passing by and I was like, oh my god, I know who that motherfucker is. Yeah. But yeah, sure, he should be held accountable. I think that's rude, especially if there's people at service.
And, you know, there's another clip. So he met up with them before they even got into their vehicles. They gave out addresses. I mean, this was an operation. These people do like these surprise operation ice out attacks, if you will, for lack of a better term. So, I mean, he says he's protected under the First Amendment. That's his excuse. And he says he's protected as a journalist. But I will bring up, like I did last night, January 6th had 8 journalists who were charged. So journalism doesn't necessarily protect you in certain instances. And the First Amendment, the first line is freedom of religion, even before freedom of speech. So, I mean, it stands to reason that freedom of religion is higher than freedom of speech as we see it. That's how it's written in the Constitution. So, I mean, he knew what he was doing, and he had every opportunity to not go into the church, to stay outside and be like, I don't know, guys. But he went in, and the organized group that did it actually gave him a shout out, like later on that day, saying, thank you, everything was so lovely, blah, 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 so glad you're there. So, like, he's very incredibly complicit. He's trying to spin it as he just saw these people on the sidewalk as he was casually walking down the street and he did.
No,
That's
it was
not what
planned.
happened. It was very much planned.
Yeah,
And they
and
had the address.
even if it wasn't illegal, it is distasteful because it's people's place of worship. Can I think of an instance where maybe it would be appropriate, right? You really want to cause a ruckus. You really want to disrupt the system. Sure. But what is that reason, right? So I can see how it's a bit silly and disrespectful and distasteful to interrupt a service at a place of worship. So yeah, he should have thought about that. But again, he got what he wanted. He's probably all over the news right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a question. How do you guys think this stuff like this impacts the 2020 midterms, specifically on the Democratic side? Because there's a lot of Catholics that are Democrats that I'm sure are very upset about what happened. Because, you know, the hospital, a church, and a school are three places that universally across the planet people agree you don't bomb, you don't do anything crazy, you don't cause chaos, you know what I mean? People aren't going in the middle of a hospital and like protesting or anything. You don't do that, you know what I mean? These are like three places that everybody universally has agreed that you just don't do. You leave alone. It's supposed to be peaceful. And how do you think that's going to impact the Democrats specifically moving forward?
This specific instance or like overall?
I would say this specific instance, because this has a lot of people on both sides fired up, not understanding why are we attacking innocent parishioners? Like, we don't know those people from a hole in the wall.
I think the Republicans have bigger problems than this.
I don't think so.
I think that their messaging and their rhetoric and their culture wars really distract from if they were to really help with the economic issues and the affordability issues, which again Donald Trump previously not so long ago said was a communist psyop, that would really help them out in the 2026 elections. I didn't realize that Don Lemon really caused up a stir here. I think people are just innately bipartisan, and the people who swing elections probably are really not that interested in such bipartisan topics like this. Like, I think the people who vote are either more centrist or they'll vote either way. Those aren't the parties that are fighting with each other with, I assume, with regards to this specific instance. They're not as invested with like the bipartisanship. I think if it's going to swing the election, it's going to have a lot more to do with economic policy and foreign policy, because people are seeing disastrous foreign policy, not as important as economic policy to the voter, but I think that is going to swing more of the election. The Democrats like to lose, but the Republicans are really I think they might top them with this one, honestly. But that's how it goes every so often. It goes up and down all the time because people are never satisfied because they never really address the real economic issue, which is income and wealth inequality.
Okay. I'll say my thoughts on it. I don't know if this will really hurt the Democrats, in my opinion, to be honest. I feel like people just already kind of had a mind made up. And I just feel that the tides are already going to turn. It feels just people are kind of, on both sides, are kind of feeling kind of like over shit. You feel me? And when people are over shit, usually a change happens. The thing the Democrats are having a problem with, they don't know who to put the face in there because everybody's looking at the Democrats like, no, fuck Gavin Newsom. Jasmine Crockett ain't about shit. Any other Democrat, you don't really know. AOC, nah, you're not going to come on here. They don't have somebody that's out there that could kind of be like, oh, yeah, he could take or he or she can take the mantle.
They need a Trump.
Hey, you got a point, Kimberly. Yeah, they need like a Trump. They don't have that figure. Now they might try to do. I think his name is is it Ben? Josh Shapiro, I think that's his name is.
No.
You don't think so?
No, he's like way too. He's too much of a Zionist.
See, then they don't have nobody because that was like the only person that I could kind of think of that'd be like, okay. But other than that, it's like they don't really have nobody that's like how the Trump is for Republicans. So I still feel that at this point it's gonna be a blue wave coming because when people get restless and people tired of shit, they always change the regime and shit every time. So that's how I look at it. I don't think it really hurt the Democrats. You feel me?
This is my thing with the entire situation. I think it's completely asinine that people are protesting against ICE. I'm gonna keep saying that. I'm gonna keep fucking saying that. There's a great website for everybody to go to. It's dhs.gov/wow. And start looking. Just go to Minnesota alone. As of today, I think they added like 30 or 40 people that were arrested in the last 24 hours that are illegal immigrants. Let's just rattle off some of their charges. This is not charges. I'm sorry. These are convictions. Every single person that's on here, one is an illegal immigrant and has been convicted of all these crimes. And that's on their jacket, regardless if it's in the United States or abroad. Fraud, probation violations, receiving stolen property, vehicle theft, receiving stolen vehicles, criminal sexual conduct, 4th degree of a 13-year-old to a 15-year-old, homicide, larceny, driving under the influence, domestic violence, aggravated assault with a weapon, felony smuggling aliens, assault, domestic violence, driving under the influence, damaging property, violating probation, assault, fraud, larceny, robbery, domestic assault, robbery, assault, driving under the influence. That's just 12 people. There's 18 pages in Minnesota alone. That's who they're picking up. That's who Bortak is out there picking up. Like for the cop that shot Renee Good, those weren't regular ICE agents. Those were Bortak units. Those are ones that are specialized that go out there with warrants for people like this. That's who they're going after. You're impeding these type of people. You want to protect these people. Your messaging is
I've
all
never
wrong.
heard anybody protect like violent criminals or
Well, that's what
defend
they're
violent
doing.
criminals. Everybody that I know, even like the silliest of, well, I don't know. I'm sure there's somebody out there who's like on both sides, super silly. That
Renee Good,
could be wrong.
for example. Renee Good. Blocking Bortak units who were going out and getting these exact people. And this is in the state of Minnesota.
I've never heard anybody defend keeping violent criminals or at least not prosecuting them or getting them off the streets ever.
Here's the thing. How are we going to ever do that if we don't ever get to the point of going to get them?
What's the
Blocking
point
ICE
of going
agents
door
from
to
get
door
them?
and terrorizing people?
They're not going door to door
shooting
terrorizing people.
They did a little bit ago. And
No, they
shooting
didn't.
people
They had
in the
warrants.
head.
They had warrants for people. They
Door
shot
to
listen,
door,
Kim,
they didn't
Kim,
have
Kim,
warrants.
Kim, yes, they did. Yes, they did. I know exactly which times you're talking about with Bovino in Louisiana. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yes, they had warrants to go door to door, and that's where they got those people from door to door. They shot one person. You've had 35 altercations and over 2.5 million deportations and self-deportations since Donald Trump came into office. 35 altercations that were enhanced by the Democrats, by these people in the streets that are protecting these type of people. Here's the thing. You might not hear about people advocating for keeping these type of people in the country, but here's the thing. You're advocating against ICE doing their job, which allows these people to stay in the country. If it wasn't for ICE picking up these people would be walking amongst us. These people would be causing havoc the way that they have been causing havoc. I mean, we can just point back and talk about a few people who were unalived by illegal immigrants. I'm sorry. An American citizen's life at the hands of an illegal migrant is a lot more to me. I care about those people a lot more than some stupid bitch who could have stayed home and minded her business, who had no reason to be there, who was told to leave, who was told to get out of the vehicle, and still struck an ICE officer and fucked around and found out. I have no sympathy for these dumbasses out there that are getting detained for throwing piss bottles and ice at ICE agents. I have no sympathy for any of these idiots protesting at all. I'm sorry, this administration is not doing enough, and I'll say this: every single one of them needs the book thrown at them. Every single one of them needs to be in jail for impeding ICE officers, for assaulting ICE officers, the same exact way the Democratic Party threw the book at everybody for January 6th for a insurrection, but no one was charged with insurrection. This is a violent uprising against police. It wasn't an insurrection.
It wasn't. It was a riot. It was a very chaotic riot, and some people shouldn't have been part of it. Very few. Yeah, even stupid bitches deserve to live. Just because you're a stupid bitch doesn't mean you should get shot in the head. That's silly.
Don't hit a cop with a car.
Okay, if she didn't hit him with the car, but
she
even
did.
If,
I can
even if
show
she
you
grazed him
1,000
on the
videos.
side like you say he did, that doesn't.
He had
merit
internal
getting shot in the head
bleeding.
3 times.
Bleeding. Okay, and here's the thing: even if she didn't hit him, Minnesota State Statute 609.066 explicitly says an officer does not need to wait until impact to address the situation how they deem fit. If the
Address the
officer
situation, he could have shot the tire, not shot her in the head 3 times.
yeah, again, it's up to the officer's discretion as per Minnesota Statute
You should
609.066.
change that law. That's horrible.
Tim Walz wrote that law, so
I don't like Tim Walz.
I'm just saying he's the one who wrote that law. So
Yeah.
for the
Well-
people in Minnesota, if you don't like that law, advocate to change it.
Yeah. I don't think anybody should get shot in the head 3 times, even if you disagree with her, even if you think she's a dumb bitch or whatever.
She should have
But-
minded her own business and stayed home.
I wouldn't have done that, but that doesn't mean she should have gotten shot in the head 3 times.
I mean,
Can
where
say
else are they
something
supposed to
real
shoot?
quick? Can I say
Go ahead,
something
go
real
ahead,
quick?
Mia. Yeah, go ahead. We
So-
can play the next clip.
As much as I want to have like a little bit of empathy for Renee Good, because obviously she was a mother. I mean, you know what's the craziest thing to me is there was a 19-year-old Black woman named Dakara Thompson that was murdered by a Guatemalan man. She was brutally raped, she was strangled, she was stripped naked, and she was thrown over a goddamn fucking bridge into the water like garbage. But yet we're all screaming Renee Good, who had 2 of her kids taken away that lived with their biological father's family. So, I mean, it's stuff like this. When you think critically, you're wondering why Renee Good gets to get uplifted. The only meaningful thing she's ever done in her life is get shot 3 times in the face. Other than that, she's done nothing meaningful in her fucking life. But yet we're saying her name, and she is undeserving of that, where we have Dakara Thompson, who deserves her name said because she was murdered by an illegal migrant. That
Yeah,
should
and
not
that
have
person
been
should-
here.
that
And that
person
should
should be
Riley.
prosecuted.
and this
Jocelyn
person is
Nutter.
prosecuted, but our point is she would still be alive if he had not been allowed to come here and allowed to be here in this area. When I say area, I mean the country as a whole.
I have to add on to that because I actually deep dived into that story on my show. That person actually got arrested a couple times in the States and they never deported bruh. So if they would have deported bruh, our black
Right, the
system,
first
Failure of the
time.
system. That's a failure of
Yeah.
the system.
And you know what's crazy is like it seems to be that a lot of these girls, and it's mostly women, obviously, typically speaking, it's generally women that end up being victims of men. Statistics tell us that. A lot of these girls, a lot of these women, their killers have been arrested multiple times for a litany of assault, domestic violence, drug charges, weapons charges, and so on and so forth. And they should have been deported. And yet they never were. And it always seems to be in these blue sanctuary states that they're just not deporting these people, even though they should be. And now we have all of these American women, and it's just stack after stack after stack after stack after stack after stack after stack. And they keep dying. So why are American women's lives not important? Why do we get to be brutally raped, stripped naked, strangled, and thrown over fucking bridges into water like we're garbage over scumbags that shouldn't be here? That's my question for people.
I don't think
answer.
I mean, obviously. I
So
don't
why
think
does Dakara's name not get to be said? Why does Renee Good get all of this?
We know why.
I talked about this. I talked about this with
Doesn't
Nora.
get anything. She doesn't get her name said.
No, I do want to say I talked about this with Nora a little bit, and we both thought, like, at first when I realized how big that story got, and then Nora told me that they started saying "say her name," the first thing I told Nora was, "What a disgrace and a shame to Breonna Taylor, Sandra Bland, and other people that they would use that term with, say her name." And then Nora sent me her video where she said the same thing, and I was like, "See, so we're in agreement here." So it's not they're not like mutually exclusive. One doesn't make the other one true or right. You can both condemn criminals and also condemn violent use of the police, not just with ICE and immigration, but overall, because violent use of the police is a way to control the population. And there are several case laws that have already proved, and especially with the indemnity of the police, is that they're not really here to protect us. They're here to protect the state. So with regards to that illegal immigrant who had a rap sheet, he shouldn't have been released or deported. He should have been kept in jail for life for having had previously committed violent crimes, right? So that is a failure, not just of the immigration system, but of the criminal system, and that is a shame. And I'm very sad about that lady who was brutally murdered. That doesn't mean that all immigrants or Guatemalans are, it's not an indictment of all of them altogether. I think crime is crime and it should be prosecuted as such. And I think especially violent, brutal crime should be prosecuted as such. And I condemn it. Oh, and so me and Nora, the point I was going to say, we think the story was overblown on both sides. The Renee Good, I mean, don't get me wrong, it was a big deal. But when I started seeing they're trying to make like murals of her, like of George Floyd, and to say her name, and I was like, what's going on? Like, I get it. It was brutal, but I do think that there's a hidden agenda here. It's an election year. They're really, really ramping up the divisive politics here, really tearing a line through the politics here because they want to keep us divided and not united. What's up? Why are we waving?
Oh, Mia has to go.
Oh, okay. Bye. Have a good night.
Saying bye.
Sorry, I sometimes I yap.
No, we got plenty of time. You feel me? Speaking,
how much longer we got?
Probably like 10 more minutes.
All right,
maybe 15. Speaking of crime and stuff like that, I got something I gotta show y'all, and this is the finale right here, y'all. We got hey, a Somalian woman stealing camera equipment right out of dude's hand. Like this.
What did she just do?
Wait, what?
Oh shit. Okay, it's okay.
I guess he stole his camera.
Yep.
That worked.
She took Nick's camera.
Yeah.
She just stole Nick's camera.
Funny story about this.
Cameras
one,
are expensive.
that I know about.
What the hell is going on?
Let's get her.
No, get in the camera.
Well, this is just the GTA server over here.
Yeah.
What happened, Nick?
They just stole my camera.
Right out of your hand while you're in the car?
That's what the fuck you wanted, right? That's what the fuck you wanted, right? Man, listen, motherfucker, you better get the fuck up out of here. You fucking coward.
I'm sorry, he a better man than me, bro. I would have decked him on sight. Like, all right.
Bitch. You fucking coward. You a fucking coward. Nobody motherfucker, you
Whose side are we on?
Nobody
Nick's order.
$1,000 from
Yeah, fuck you, bitch.
Did you call that? Did anybody call 911?
You're in this neighborhood.
Have Kevin do it.
He's another reporter. That's who it is.
fucking Nazi.
We got it all on video. We're not Nazis.
Yeah, you fucking Nazi.
We're not Nazis and we're not racist. I condemn Hitler completely. I'm not racist. I condemn all racism. I condemn all racism.
I'm blaming the code. That's why people are angry and shit.
We were driving through and we got followed.
Them motherfuckers hella mad.
You guys followed us. It doesn't matter. We're allowed to be here. It's the United States of America. Why do we have to leave?
What? They just.
We're not leaving until we get the camera. You want us to leave? Give us the camera.
Damn.
Call
Wait,
your
who has the camera?
It's this one Somali woman stole it right out his hand.
You're trying to scream racism, but yet you're treating him like this. Why? Why?
Okay, let me read this real quick for y'all, and then we gonna go over that clip, and that'd be the final clip. Says right here.
I was just going to bring that up.
Oh, you was gonna bring this up? Yeah, the woman who stole Nick Sorter camera equipment and drove onto the sidewalk, dangerously dragging him, has been identified as the owner of Children's Autism
Shut
Center
the fuck up.
Green Lake Park. Well, damn, Minnesota.
Shut
The vehicle and license plate involved match. Well. What are y'all thoughts about this, y'all? God damn.
Like Mia always says, the turntables always be turning. So not only did this person steal the camera, how much we want to put on there that they running a fraudulent shit out of there?
Oh my God.
That's what my mind
What a
went to
shame.
immediately, because it's I don't even know how to even look at this anymore. Like Minnesota altogether, I don't give a fuck who you are in Minnesota at this point. You need to be investigated, all of them. Anybody that got any fucking grant for a child daycare, you need to be investigated too.
Sure.
Because here's the funny thing that I found out. So we all remember Ashley Babbitt, right? The one who was killed on January 6th.
Oh, okay, yes. She shouldn't
Check
have died.
this shit. The cop who killed her, he runs a daycare out of his home. No stars, no reviews, never had one registered child at his daycare that he runs out of his house for the last 10 years.
Does he have a kid? Because at this point, it'd be like, damn, at least put your kid in a daycare.
Nope.
Like,
I found that out. I was like, ain't no fucking way. I was like, anybody that has a child fucking daycare or any type of thing like this in
Sure.
Minnesota needs to be investigated. That shit needs to be spread to all 50 states after that. That's what it needs to be the start of. I don't want this to be investigate Minnesota, then go to Illinois, then go to fucking, and then go to California. No, 50 statewide. I don't give a shit who runs it. Every single one of them need to be investigated.
Yeah,
because
a
there is some
misuse of
funky shit going on.
taxpayer funds.
Yeah.
I'm all for that. What a shame if that lady really is Somali and tried to steal a camera with her fucking license plates on camera and also runs a daycare. And if it is true that she is committing fraud, it's like defeating their own fucking purpose, you know? So that's such a shame, really, because like I said, being Somalian is an indictment of being automatically committing fraud or immigrants. But then shit like this happens and it's like, oh, what the fuck do you say to that? Like, well, nothing. They're not helping themselves here. But I don't know, maybe her daycare is, why didn't anybody tell me I could do that? Like,
do a daycare thing. Just
I never knew you could do that.
Listen, if nothing happens to anybody, I'm moving to Minnesota and I'm going to open a daycare. Don't
Yeah,
ask why.
honestly, like at this point, like, but and also that cop story, have they investigated whether or not it really is fraud or fraudulent?
I don't know if they looked into anything him yet.
It smells like it is, right?
It was right when Nick Shirley started doing like the whole investigation and everything like that. It popped up on my timeline and I'm like, this don't fucking sound right. And I looked it up. Now it's legit. Like
That's
it's
crazy.
legally, he owns it, he runs it, everything. Him and his
What a
wife
douchebag.
out of their home in Maryland.
What a douchebag. He also killed someone.
Yeah.
Yeah, he shouldn't have. He should have gone to jail, just like the ICE officer who shot Renee Good.
Uh-oh.
That's too different.
Uh-oh.
Too different.
Would you call that balance?
No,
yeah, I
because-
would call
all right,
that consistency on principle.
No, there's no consistency.
I would like to call my conservative friends to hold principles.
So here's the thing. I will hold principles. The case with Ashley Babbitt, she was not a direct threat to that officer's life. They
She
should have addressed it with a non-lethal. That's what they should have done. The case with Renee Good, she was using her vehicle as a weapon, which in what is it? What case study was that? Graham versus Connor, where they proved that a vehicle can be used as a weapon. Therefore, the
driving away.
force was equal, and she struck him at the same time.
She She grazed him because she was trying to get away.
Doesn't matter. That's still a hit.
No, that's groupthink.
It's not groupthink. No.
Well,
No.
anyway, before I let y'all do y'all closing thoughts, let me say this real quick. And goes across to the new party and also my network. Hit that notification bell so y'all know when we go live. On the new party side, hit the notification bell. Hit us with a like. Hit us with a share. And then on my side, Kamal Johnson Network, hit that notification bell. Hit us with a like. Hit us with a share. We're going to start out with Kimberly with her closing thoughts. What is your closing thoughts? And why can't I make you the goddamn solo? Hold on. There we go. Hit us with your closing thoughts, Kimberly.
I condemn all violence. I condemn all fraud. What did we talk about? Oh, the Don Lemon. The Don Lemon thing. If that's illegal, sure, prosecute him. I would love to see that. Don't like Don Lemon. What else did we talk about? Oh yeah.
Hold on. Hey, Kimberly, hold on. Wait a minute. You're gonna like the sound of this. You might have found the link.
Somebody should show me how to do the. I've never done a super chat thing.
The super chat?
Yeah.
Give them your Cash App.
I don't have Cash App.
God damn, Kimberly. We trying to get you paid. They trying to give you some money.
Send it to the.
Hey, listen, Chandler, you can send me money.
Send it in.
Please send it to the new party. Yes, please. I'll work on that. I don't know why I haven't done that. Anyways, I'll work on that. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, Chandler. Please send it to the new party. I don't remember what I was saying, but I hope we could all come to an agreement eventually at some point, because Mia talks about this a lot. It's a class issue. No war but class war. All right. I hope that one day you will all agree with me on everything. Thank you for watching.
Appreciate it, Kim. All right, Enzo. Your final thoughts.
So my final thoughts are: this was a good episode. Kamal, you did pretty good hosting. Nora needs to let you host again because this was fun. What did we talk about? Zesty ass Don Lemon and running up in churches like he's trying to. Never mind. I'm not gonna go there. No, yeah, he should be locked up for that shit. For the people stealing cameras and harassing people, just covering things in Minnesota. I think this is absolutely disgusting. And to all the Democrats who want to stand behind all of these criminals, like I said, you should go to the website dhs.gov/wow and just look at all the people you guys are trying to keep into this country. And really, really think, are you guys really doing anything, or are you just trying to get your side votes? Because that's what you guys are trying to do, is get these people in here to get people to vote. Yeah, this is just disgusting at this point that the Insurrection Act has not been called in Minnesota or any of these states that this is all has happened to. And I'm going to pick up on what Kamal usually does and clown on the chat real quick. Mr. Eric Klein, bro, you always in the comment section saying the dumbest shit ever. Like, I've caught you say that Tim Walz and Gavin Newsom were the best governors that this country have ever seen. Now you want to see why. Now you know why Italy had a civil war. You know why America had a civil war? It was because of the Democrats. Because of everything that y'all are pulling right now. You wanted states' rights. You didn't want states' rights. You wanted states' rights. You had a war over that. You wanted to exploit people. What are y'all doing right now? You want these illegal immigrants here so you can fucking exploit them. From the party that screams there was a party switch, I mean, it doesn't sound like there was ever a party switch because you're still echoing the same shit. Maybe, Eric, get off of YouTube and actually start looking up some shit and do some research, and maybe you'll actually have a fucking head on your shoulders because, bro, like, you smoked way too much peyote in Cali, and your brain's gone at this point, thinking Gavin Newsom's the best thing since sliced bread. But anyway, I digress. I'll see y'all tomorrow night. I'm going to hop on the man cave with everybody with Nora. So it's going to be fun.
Yo, that was hilarious. Why is this shit not working? Hold on. There
I
we go.
second that. Kamal did great today. It was funny. It was intimate. It was fun, and I loved it. It was very fun, guys.
I appreciate y'all. God damn, y'all making me feel special as hell. I don't know why it turned all dark. Like, damn, I'm not trying to sing a R&B song to y'all at the intro. Let me turn this light up a little bit. All right, there we go. Enzo, appreciate the kind words. Kim, appreciate the kind words. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to Mia. She was on here earlier. Shout out to everybody on the new party. First of all, I most definitely have to do this. The new party has a new member. Thank you, T Christ. Appreciate it, bruh. You shall get the air horns. You know what I mean? Also, shout out to Nora. She couldn't make it today to host, so that's why I'm hosting for the new party. Also, shout out to Gray, y'all. We about to give multiple air horns. Birthday week, so we out there on a cruise and shit, doing God knows what, probably eating a bunch of food, doing a two-step and shit. Shout out to Gray though, man. Anyway, y'all go sub to the new party. Hit the notification bell so you know when they go live. All right. Also, share the program. On my end, Kamal Johnson Network. Hit your bro with a sub. Hit your bro with a like. Reshare the program. As y'all can see, I was more of a host today. So when I'm a host, I try not to give my opinion as much. All right. Hell, I don't even try to clown the chat that much. And y'all were saying some asinine things. I saw a couple of y'all imbeciles in there, but I tried to ignore y'all because I was trying to host the show. Y'all come back tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. The Man Cave will be on tomorrow. Y'all go show some love. Appreciate everybody else on the panel. They have all their own TikToks and YouTubes. Y'all go check that out. And I don't have the outro. Sorry, y'all, it's no outro, but we do have a link that's in the description of the new party where it's a donation, where we're trying to get donations to because we're about to have a meetup, y'all, in like April. And so we're trying to do some IRL content for you ignorant motherfuckers that mean in real life. And also so we could kind of meet each other. So we, we're not just on the internet with it. We can meet each other in person. But with that being said, I do appreciate everybody. Appreciate y'all. Y'all have a great night. I will be back on here Thursday with the new party. Y'all come back for the Man Cave. We out of here, y'all.